I've played just over 10 hours of Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and I'm going to go through the things that I wish I knew sooner before playing this game, so you guys can have a greater experience and understand everything about this game. Now, also, there will be no storyline or gameplay spoilers, so just FYI that, so you guys are all good to go. But anyway, let's hop right into it. Now, for the first tip that I would recommend is to pick your stances. Now, we don't find out all the stances until about 10 to 15 hours during the game, but the thing is, it's really important for gameplay situations to figure out what stance you want to be using, because that's going to determine exactly your strengths and weaknesses going up against. And you want to have at least a combination. I like to use the dual wield and the double bladed. That is my combination. Now you can have two, and that's the thing what I like to do. So you want to figure out what's best suited for you as soon as possible within the game. You're obviously going to not be giving them all at the start, but really figure out what is the best game style for you, because this is going to affect how you're going to play down the track. And it's also very important to just, watch what the different weaknesses of other creatures, so you can use that stance against them. For my tip number 2 is called the Golden Path. Now, this shows up on the map and shows where you have already been, so you don't have to go back on the hologram and have a look and get lost, which was something that happened a lot in Fallen Order, that the maps were so big, but it was kind of like a lot of people got confused of where they were and had to run all the way back. And then obviously they have fast travel now with Jedi Survivor, which is a great addition, but a lot of people got very lost of where they went, and because the maps always sometimes look similar at certain locations, and you just get really sidetracked. Now, I'm not saying this isn't the same case for Jedi Survivor, that you don't get sidetracked, because I really do a lot, because especially in Koboh, I am exploring everywhere. There's so much exploration to do, and I am getting a bit like losing track of where I'm meant to be going and stuff. And yeah, there's a lot of things that you can do, but it's really nice to see your Golden Path. Now, with the Golden Path, it will only track of when you've last looked at the map. So you want to make sure that you don't look at the map for a while if you are trying to get to somewhere. And then if you are a bit lost of where you need to go, you need to look that up and see exactly where you have been. The tip is block. Now, everyone needs to keep blocking. Now, this blocking skill, I didn't think that we had enough stamina for, and I was trying to figure out exactly how much stamina is used for kind of each troop and each attack that there is used against us. Now, obviously, I can't really determine exactly how much that is, because it differs with the enemy you are versing. But it is really important, especially when you have got a group of stormtroopers, a group of B1 battle droids, B2. Very important to be holding your block, because it's very, very useful. And I didn't get this at the start of the game. I was dying a lot because I just wasn't blocking enough, and it's really important. And if you are a more skilled player, to parry at the right time, because you can get a really crucial opening to attack them, and then they're a lot more vulnerable they are. But you want to be making sure that you are blocking, especially with just the normal enemies, not bigger and stronger enemies, because those ones you cannot block at times, certain attacks, especially with the red. If it's shining red around the enemy, you cannot block that, but you want to be, trying to use the block as much as you can if that's best for you. Now, for the fourth tip, this one is very self-explanatory, but this is to get every shortcut you can. This is very important, because especially when you've been attacking a lot and you might be low in health or low in stims, it's really good, because some of the shortcuts can actually take you back to some meditation points, and you can rest and then recover your whole body, and that will be really good, and you can restore your whole health. And I think it's very perfect to do that a lot. So anywhere there's a shortcut, or you need to go and get to somewhere to get the shortcut, you must do that. It's very, very important. The fifth one. Now, this one is a little bit different. Now, this is a little bit of a gameplay spoiler, just a tiny bit. But if you die, leave your XP as long as you can. This is really important. So if you do die, your XP and your health is just there. So basically, what you want to be doing, if you're first in, especially in the boss fight, you want to be if you die against the boss and then you come back to first it again, leave your XP as long as possible, because this will be really good. It's kind of like your extra stim almost. So you can, if you're low in health, you can use that as a stim again if you are low in stims, or you want to use that. And I think just wait as long as you can, use your stims, or just try and kill him as best as you can and not actually take as much damage. But if you really need to, then jump into your XP and that. It is just a golden XP little light thing that you will see, and it's, yeah, I think it's really good. Now for my next tip is reset your skill points in your skills section. Now this is very important because as you are progressing as the game is going on, you are obviously going to be unlocking more stances, more abilities, such and such. And now this is up to you of how you use your skill points to get the different skills. But I have found that it's very important to actually focus on certain stances and certain force abilities, because as you progress, you're going to be wanting to find something that is your play style, and this is very, very important to find that. As I said in one of my first tips, that you need to find the best stance for yourself. Now with this thing, you want to actually reset it sometimes, because as you progress, you're going to have a lot more skill points and you want to actually focus all on something. So let's just say I love using the double bladed. I want to cover all the double bladed abilities that I can get in it. So when I do go to attack, I have all the abilities that I can use for attacking, which is going to give me a big advantage. But if I space it out into other stances, it's not as effective for me. So that's why I feel like you guys need to actually focus on your play style of how you like to play. Now the number 7th one, this is a very simple one for obviously a lot of games this is in, but be patient. Try to get more of an understanding of each enemy weaknesses. This depends on how you play the game, but very important to get a good understanding of these. This is a key thing to do in all games, especially this game where there's a lot of diversity of enemies. You want to find their weaknesses, you want to find what they're not good at and what their strengths are, so you can avoid that. And that's very, very key, because you don't want to just run in there and just hope for the best, because unfortunately you're gonna die. My next tip is to find every collectible you can. Now this is coming as cosmetic skins, you know, customizations, you know, paints. You got your lights, you got your force essence acquiredness, you got your health boost. These are all very important things. So obviously there'll be times where you have to take on, you know, maybe a little bit a mini boss or maybe a boss to get to something. But it is very, very key to find these things, because later down the track when you progress in the story, it is going to make the game a little bit easier for you, because you have more health or you have more force essence, which will make you player a lot stronger and a lot better. Now for the next tip is combat. Now this is self-explanatory with all combat games, and this is kind of coming down to Jedi Survivor right now, is something that I don't really recommend, obviously, with a lot of games, you know, to jump and attack. But especially since we are using Jedis and we get to jump like crazy, definitely jump into attacks, because jumping into attacks is really important. You don't want to be doing that much against blasters, but you can actually dodge bullets while you're up in the air. I find that if you jump in the air a lot against troopers, they can't reach you because they are just on the ground, and if you jump, you can strike them from above and hopefully they don't attack you from that time. I've found it's very useful. It's not like it's like OP that it's better than normal attacking from the ground. I just found it's a very good tip to actually find and do a little bit more, especially at certain situations, because you've got some certain big animals that you can first. I don't recommend jumping on against like big, like kind of mini bosses, because they actually have the size to actually hit you. So I don't think you can really jump higher than that, but you want to be dodging those. But I think dodging is good still, and the ground attacks, I just think using jumping into attacking into your combat, I think will give you a bit of an upper hand at certain times, depending of how well you can use it. So my other point is to rest. Now this is resting at certain points. If you rest, enemies will all spawn back you've just killed. So try and rest when you have to attack the same enemies you just killed. You don't want to be attacking the same enemies. If you've covered over a whole little area of the map, and then you've come back to the meditation, but you have to go through that area to progress, do not rest, because the enemies will just spawn back again. Only if you want to go and first them again because you did really bad and you know exactly how to attack them and kill them next time, so you can have obviously a lot more health going moving forward. But I really recommend to not rest at certain points, because it is sometimes really bad, and I've encountered a lot of situations where I've just rested and I've just totally forgot about, that they all spawn back, and now they're all there, and I'm like, how do I attack now? Like, I have to kill everyone, and it's just like, it's very frustrating for me. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope I helped you with some tips and tricks. There's going to be a lot of videos here on this channel coming all this month for Jedi Survivor. I've been playing it so much. Going to be streaming the whole game. I really appreciate everyone's support. I hope you guys are enjoying Jedi Survivor, and if you guys are a little bit interested of Jedi Survivor and you are not too sure, I recommend to get the game, because it is something really good. But I appreciate everyone you watching. Thank you guys all so much. Make sure to like and subscribe. But as always, may the Force be with you always.